You know what everyone says about tropical paradise? Hawaii is the dream destination, the golden standard. But what if I told you there's another place that gives you everything Hawaii has to offer for a fraction of the cost? Today, we're putting Hawaii head-to-head against Malaysia in the ultimate tropical showdown, and the results might completely change your next vacation plans. Look, Hawaii is stunning. Nobody's denying that. But when you're paying $3,000 per person for a week and eating $60 meals just to get a taste of island life, you start questioning if paradise should cost this much. Meanwhile, Malaysia is sitting there with pristine beaches, incredible food for $5, and week-long trips under $1,500, wondering why nobody's talking about it. So let's break this down category by category, dollar by dollar, and see which destination actually delivers the best value. Before we dive in, understand this isn't about trashing Hawaii. This is about opening your eyes to options you might not have considered. Because here's the thing most travel blogs won't tell you. The travel industry has conditioned us to believe that expensive equals better. That if you're not dropping $5,000 on a beach vacation, you're somehow doing it wrong. But what if the math tells a completely different story? Let me start with a number that matters most. Your total budget. A 10-night trip to Hawaii for a family of four in 2025 will run you around $13,700. That's not including flights from most places outside the U.S. West Coast. Just accommodation, local transport, food, and a few activities. Break that down, and you're looking at $3,400 per person. Now compare that to Malaysia. A similar 10-night trip for a family of four averages around $5,000 total. That's $1,250 per person. You're literally saving $8,700. $8,700 that could go toward another vacation, or upgrading your experiences, or just staying in your bank account where it belongs. But let's not just throw numbers at you. Let's break down exactly where these costs come from, because that's where it gets really interesting. Accommodation in Hawaii is brutal. Budget hotels start around $96 per night. But let's be real, nobody's flying to Hawaii to stay in a budget hotel. Mid-range hotels average between $150 to $300 per night. Want something nice with an ocean view? You're easily hitting $400 to $600 per night. And here's the kicker. Many hotels tack on resort fees of $25 to $50 per night on top of the room rate. These fees cover things like pool access and Wi-Fi that should already be included. Plus, you're paying up to 17.75% in hotel taxes. Malaysia flips this equation completely. Decent mid-range hotels cost $30 to $60 per night. You can find beautiful private rooms in guest houses for $20. Want to splurge on something luxurious? $100 gets you 5-star treatment that would cost $400 in Hawaii. No hidden resort fees. No surprises at checkout. Just straightforward pricing that respects your budget. A friend of mine stayed at a boutique hotel in Langkawi with a private balcony overlooking the Andaman Sea for $45 a night. The same view in Maui? Try $350 minimum. The quality difference? Honestly, not much. Now, let's talk about food because this is where Malaysia absolutely destroys the competition. In Hawaii, eating is expensive. Like really expensive. A standard sit-down restaurant meal costs $55 to $75 per person before tip. And tipping is mandatory, so add another 15 to 20%. Quick lunch at a casual spot? Still $30 to $40. Even the famous plate lunches that locals eat cost $10 to $12 now. Want breakfast? $20 minimum. A simple dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant easily hits $150 after tax and tip. Some resort restaurants charge over $100 per person before drinks. Malaysia makes Hawaii look absolutely ridiculous in this department. Street food meals cost $2 to $5. We're talking proper meals here. Nasi lemak with coconut rice, sambal, anchovies, and egg for $5. Char Kway Teow, those incredible stir-fried noodles, for $4. Satay skewers for $3. Sit-down meals at local restaurants run $7 to $15 per person. And this isn't just cheap food. Malaysian cuisine is legitimately world-class. The flavors, the variety, the freshness. You're eating better for less. A typical traveler spends about $15 to $30 per day on food in Malaysia, including all meals and snacks. In Hawaii, that same $30 might cover one meal if you're lucky. Here's what that looks like in practice. Your family of four having dinner in Hawaii at a moderate restaurant costs around $250 with tip. That same family in Malaysia enjoys an incredible feast at a hawker center for $25 total. You're talking about 10 times the price difference for comparable satisfaction. Actually, scratch that. The Malaysian food is probably better. Transportation reveals another massive gap. Renting a car in Hawaii costs $55 to $95 per day. Gas runs $4.70 to $5.50 per gallon, higher on neighbor islands. Parking at hotels can cost $15 to $40 per day. Some spots charge $68 for parking. Taking taxis or rideshares adds up fast with base fares of $3.50 to $5 plus 50 cents per 8 mile. If you're island hopping, inter-island flights cost $70 to $140 each way per person. Add it all up, and transportation becomes a major expense. Malaysia's transport system costs pennies by comparison. City buses cost $1 to $3 per ride. The excellent Kuala Lumpur metro system charges 50 cents to $3. Grab rides, their version of Uber, cost $2 to $8 for most trips. Renting a scooter costs $9 per day. Even car rentals only run $20 to $40 daily, with gas much cheaper than Hawaii. Long-distance buses between cities cost $5 to $15. A friend traveled from Kuala Lumpur to Penang, a 5-hour journey, for $8 on a comfortable coach bus with Wi-Fi and charging ports. That same distance in Hawaii would cost over $100 minimum. The beach comparison gets interesting because this is Hawaii's home turf, right? Hawaii's beaches are undeniably gorgeous. Waikiki Lanikai, Poipu. Beautiful white sand, great waves, perfect weather. But they're also crowded. Really crowded. Waikiki Beach sees thousands of people daily. Finding a good spot requires getting there early. Many beaches have limited parking that fills up fast. Some charge for parking, adding another expense to your beach day. Malaysia's beaches are just as stunning and far less crowded. Langkawi's Pantai Senang stretches for miles with powdery white sand and calm turquoise water. The Perhentian Islands offer some of the clearest water you'll ever see. Crystal clear. Snorkeling right off the beach reveals incredible coral reefs and sea turtles. Red on Timon, raw. These islands compete with any Hawaiian beach on beauty, but without the crowds and the price tag. Many Malaysian beaches feel almost private. You can walk for ages and see maybe 20 people total. All beaches in Malaysia are public property. No private beach resorts blocking access like in Hawaii. The water clarity in places like Perhentian rivals the Maldives. Visibility underwater often exceeds 30 meters. You'll see parrotfish, clownfish, reef sharks, and turtles just snorkeling from shore. And here's something Hawaii can't match. Diversity. Malaysia gives you choices. Want party beaches with beach bars and water sports? Senang has you covered. Want isolated, untouched beaches where you're alone with nature? Pantai Pasir Tengkorak delivers. Want world-class diving? Sipadan is consistently ranked among the top 10 dive sites globally. Jacques Cousteau called it an untouched piece of art. Activities and attractions show similar patterns. Hawaii's major attractions cost real money. Snorkel tours run $75 to $150 per person. Luau's cost $100 to $200. Helicopter tours cost $250 to $400. Surfing lessons cost $80 to $120. Ziplining costs $100 to $150. Even visiting some beaches and parks requires parking fees of $5 to $10. Malaysia keeps activities affordable. Snorkel tours cost $15 to $30. Island hopping tours cost $25 to $40. Jungle trekking in Taman Negara costs $20 to $50. Visiting the Bata Caves is free. Penang Hills funicular costs $4 round trip. Most museums charge $2 to $5 entrance. Multi-day jungle tours in Borneo start around $350 to $600, still cheaper than single-day Hawaii tours. You can see orangutans in the wild, spot pygmy elephants along rivers, and explore some of Earth's oldest rainforests without destroying your budget. Weather and climate favor Malaysia slightly. Hawaii has fantastic weather year-round. Temperatures hover in the mid-70s to mid-80s. Trade winds keep things comfortable. However, Hawaii does have a wet season from November to March on some islands. Maui and Kauai can get significant rain. Wave conditions vary seasonally, affecting which beaches are swimmable. Malaysia splits into regions with different patterns. The west coast, including Langkawi and Penang, enjoys great weather year-round. Temperatures stay in the 80s to low 90s. The east coast, including Perhentian and Redong, has a monsoon season from November to February, when islands basically shut down. But from March to October, conditions are perfect. Sunny, calm seas, low rainfall. This actually works in your favor because you can plan around it and visit during ideal conditions. Plus, Malaysian destinations are less subject to hurricane threats that occasionally impact Hawaii. Cultural experiences differ significantly. Hawaii offers beautiful Polynesian culture. Luau's showcase traditional dance and food. You can learn about ancient Hawaiian history and customs. The islands have interesting mix of Asian, Pacific Islander, and mainland American influences. However, heavy tourism has commercialized much of the cultural experience. Luau's often feel staged for tourists rather than authentic cultural exchanges. Malaysia immerses you in genuine Southeast Asian culture that's lived daily, not performed. The country blends Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures, creating unique fusion. In Georgetown, Penang, you'll see Chinese temples next to Indian mosques next to British colonial architecture. Night markets buzz with locals, not just tourists. You're experiencing real Malaysian life, not a sanitized version created for visitors. The food scene reflects this authenticity. You're eating the same dishes locals eat at the same stalls they frequent. Malaysia's diversity extends to landscapes beyond beaches. You've got modern cities like Kuala Lumpur with its iconic Petronas towers. You've got UNESCO heritage towns like Georgetown and Malacca. You've got highland tea plantations in the Cameron Highlands. You've got some of the world's oldest rainforests in Taman Negara. You've got incredible wildlife in Borneo, including orangutans found nowhere else on Earth except Sumatra. Hawaii offers volcanic landscapes and unique geography, but Malaysia provides more variety in a single trip. Language creates different experiences. In Hawaii, everyone speaks English, making navigation easy for Americans. Malaysia uses Bahasa Malaysia officially, but English is widely spoken, especially in tourist areas and cities. You'll find English menus, English-speaking staff, and English signs in most places travelers visit. The British colonial history means English education is common. Communication is rarely an issue. Plus, you get the fun of learning a few Malay phrases, which locals always appreciate. Safety considerations matter for family travel. Hawaii is extremely safe. It's part of the United States with all the infrastructure and systems that implies. Healthcare is readily available. You're never far from help. Crime exists, but violent crime against tourists is rare. Petty theft happens in tourist areas, but overall it's very safe. Malaysia is also very safe for travelers. Violent crime against foreigners is rare. The main concern is petty theft like bag snatching in crowded areas. Keep valuables secure and you'll be fine. Malaysia has good infrastructure in tourist areas. Healthcare in major cities is excellent and affordable. Many travelers, including solo female travelers, visit Malaysia without issues. The country has a strong tourism industry that prioritizes visitor safety. One region to avoid is eastern Sabah and Borneo due to occasional kidnapping incidents, but most tourists never go there anyway. Flight access depends on where you're coming from. For U.S. travelers, especially from the West Coast, Hawaii is convenient. Direct flights from Los Angeles take 5 to 6 hours, costing $300 to $600 round trip. From the East Coast, you're looking at 9 to 11 hours with layovers and $600 to $1,000. Peak season prices jump significantly. Malaysia requires longer flights for Western travelers, but often costs less overall. From the U.S., expect 15 to 20-hour total travel time with 1 or 2 stops. Round-trip tickets run $500 to $1,000 from the West Coast, $800 to $1,500 from the East Coast. From Europe, flights cost $800 to $1,500. From Australia, it's just a short hop with flights under $300. The extra travel time to Malaysia gets offset by the massive savings once you arrive. You'll recoup those hours in your budget within the first 2 days. Visa requirements favor both destinations for most travelers. U.S. citizens don't need visas. For Hawaii, obviously. Most nationalities get visa-free entry to Malaysia for tourism up to 90 days. Simple arrival process. No advance paperwork for most countries. Both make entry straightforward. The alcohol situation differs notably. Hawaii has normal alcohol availability and pricing by U.S. standards. Beers at restaurants cost $6 to $10. Cocktails run $10 to $15. Not cheap, but not shocking. Malaysia, being a Muslim-majority country, has expensive alcohol due to high taxes aimed at discouraging drinking. A beer at a restaurant costs around $5, which sounds reasonable until you realize that's expensive relative to everything else. Many travelers simply don't drink much in Malaysia, which ironically saves more money and keeps you healthier for activities. Let's address the elephant in the room, the perception issue. Hawaii has decades of marketing behind it. Hollywood movies, travel shows, social media influencers. Everyone knows Hawaii. It's the default tropical paradise in Western minds. Malaysia remains relatively unknown to many Western travelers, despite being a major destination for Asian and Australian tourists. This perception gap creates the value opportunity. Malaysia hasn't been discovered and priced up by mainstream tourism yet, but that's changing. More travelers are finding out, and word is spreading. Here's what this looks like in practice. That $13,000 Hawaii family vacation? In Malaysia, you could take that same family on a 3-week adventure hitting Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Langkawi, the Perhentian Islands, and even Borneo for $10,000. Or you could do a luxury 10-day Malaysia trip, staying at 5-star resorts, eating at nice restaurants, and taking premium tours for $7,000. Still $6,000 less than standard Hawaii. Or you could do budget-friendly Malaysia for under $4,000 and pocket the other $9,000. Some people argue Hawaii's prices reflect higher costs of living and doing business on remote islands. That's partially true. But it's also true that tourism demand allows businesses to charge premium prices because people pay them. Supply and demand. Malaysia's lower prices reflect both lower operating costs and more competition in a market not inflated by decades of destination marketing. One legitimate advantage Hawaii holds is convenience for U.S. travelers. Same country, same currency, same legal system, same language, same electrical outlets. No currency exchange, no adapters, no adjustment period. You step off the plane and everything works how you expect. That convenience carries value for some travelers, especially those uncomfortable with international travel. Malaysia requires slightly more adventurous spirit, even though it's easier than many assume. Another Hawaii advantage is brand recognition, creating comfort. People know what they're getting. They've seen it in movies and TV shows. They've heard stories from friends. That familiarity reduces perceived risk. Malaysia requires trust that what I'm telling you is accurate, because you probably want to 10 friends who've been there confirm it. But that's exactly why value exists. The places everyone knows about get expensive. The hidden gems stay affordable until everyone finds them. So, which destination wins? Here's my honest take. If money is truly no object and you live on the U.S. West Coast and you value convenience above all else, Hawaii makes sense. You'll have a great time. The beaches are beautiful. The weather is perfect. Everything works smoothly. But you'll pay dearly for that convenience. If value matters at all to you, Malaysia wins by every measurable metric. You're getting equal or better experiences for 30 to 50% of the cost. The beaches rival Hawaii. The food surpasses Hawaii. The cultural immersion exceeds Hawaii. The variety of experiences destroys Hawaii. And you're saving thousands of dollars. The real question isn't whether Malaysia is better than Hawaii. The real question is whether Hawaii is worth 3 times the price of Malaysia. For most travelers, the answer is no. That price premium doesn't deliver 3 times the experience. It delivers the same experience with higher costs and bigger crowds. A couple spending $6,000 on a week in Hawaii could spend $2,000 on a week in Malaysia and have $4,000 left over for another trip entirely. Or they could spend all $6,000 in Malaysia and travel like royalty for 3 weeks. You decide which sounds better. Malaysia gives you the tropical paradise experience without the paradise tax. Crystal clear water, white sand beaches, incredible food, rich culture, friendly people, and adventures you'll remember forever. All at prices that don't require taking out a second mortgage. You get to experience Southeast Asia's diversity while maintaining comfort levels suitable for any traveler. You're not roughing it. You're choosing smart value. Here's what nobody tells you about expensive destinations. Paying more doesn't automatically create better memories. Some of my best travel experiences happen in affordable places where I wasn't stressed about every dollar spent. When you're not mentally calculating if that snorkel tour fits your budget, or if you can afford dessert at dinner, you actually relax and enjoy the vacation. Malaysia provides that freedom. You can say yes to experiences without budget anxiety. That psychological benefit alone makes cheaper destinations more enjoyable for many people. The democratization of travel means paradise shouldn't cost a fortune. For too long, tropical beach vacations existed only for the wealthy or those willing to go into debt for a week of sun. Malaysia proves you can have world-class beach experiences on middle-class budgets. You don't need to be rich to swim in clear water, eat amazing food, and explore beautiful islands. You just need to know where to look beyond the heavily marketed options. Look at what you could do with those savings. The $8,700 you save on that family trip could fund an entire additional vacation. You could visit Malaysia 1 year and Thailand the next and Vietnam the year after that for the same cost as one Hawaii trip. Or you could put those savings toward other goals. Home renovations, college funds, retirement accounts, whatever matters to you. The point is you have choices when you're not overpaying for experiences. Some people will still choose Hawaii, and that's fine. Everyone values things differently. Some people genuinely prefer paying more for the convenience and familiarity. Some people have emotional connections to Hawaii from childhood. Some people just really love Hawaiian culture specifically. These are valid reasons to choose Hawaii despite the costs. But make that choice consciously, understanding what you're paying for and what alternatives exist. Don't choose Hawaii by default because you don't realize better values exist elsewhere. The travel industry benefits from information asymmetry. They profit when you don't know your options. When Hawaii is the only tropical destination you consider, they can charge whatever they want. But when you start comparing Hawaii to Malaysia or Thailand or the Philippines or Costa Rica, suddenly Hawaii needs to justify its premium pricing. Competition benefits consumers. The more alternatives you know about, the better choices you make. Malaysia won't stay this affordable forever. As more travelers discover it, prices will rise. That's inevitable. The Perhentian Islands in 10 years might cost triple what they cost today. But right now, today, Malaysia represents incredible value. Take advantage of that window before it closes. The travelers who discovered Thailand in the 80s or Croatia in the 90s or Portugal in the 2000s got to experience amazing places before mass tourism drove up prices. You have that same opportunity with Malaysia right now. One more reality check. Even if you absolutely love Hawaii and want to return there regularly, doing so becomes more feasible when you offset those expensive Hawaii trips with affordable trips elsewhere. Instead of going to Hawaii every year and straining your budget, go to Hawaii every third year and visit places like Malaysia in between. You maintain your Hawaii connection while expanding your horizons and keeping overall travel costs reasonable. You're not choosing one over the other forever. You're optimizing your travel portfolio. The numbers don't lie. For the cost of one standard Hawaii vacation, you could visit Malaysia twice with money left over. You could do Malaysia luxury style and still spend less than Hawaii budget style. The value proposition is undeniable. And remember, we're comparing two actual paradise destinations here. Both have gorgeous beaches, great weather, and amazing experiences. This isn't comparing Hawaii to some gray industrial city. Malaysia delivers everything you want from a tropical vacation at a fraction of Hawaii's cost. So here's your takeaway. Before you book that Hawaii trip, at least look at Malaysia. Spend an hour researching. Check flight prices. Look at hotel costs. Read about the beaches and food and activities. Compare the numbers honestly. Then make your decision. Maybe you'll still choose Hawaii, and that's completely fine. But maybe you'll realize Malaysia offers everything you actually want at a price that makes sense. Maybe you'll discover a destination that becomes your new favorite. Maybe you'll start a travel journey through Southeast Asia that opens your eyes to incredible places you never knew existed. The worst thing you can do is never question the default choice. Hawaii became a default tropical paradise for Western travelers through marketing, not necessarily because it offers the best value or even the best experience. Challenge that default. Explore alternatives. Make informed decisions based on your actual priorities and budget rather than following what everyone else does without thinking. Malaysia is waiting for you with open arms, incredible food, pristine beaches, and friendly smiles. It offers authentic experiences in a region rich with culture and natural beauty. It respects your budget while delivering memories that last forever. You don't have to spend a fortune to experience paradise. You just have to be willing to look beyond the obvious choices and discover what the rest of the world already knows. Malaysia is special. The only question is whether you'll find out before everyone else does and prices go up. If this comparison opened your eyes to new possibilities, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which destination you'd choose and why. Subscribe because I'll keep bringing you these real-world travel comparisons that save you serious money. And share this with anyone you know planning a tropical vacation because they deserve to know all their options before spending thousands of dollars. The travel industry won't tell you these things, but I will. Let's help each other travel smarter, not just more expensively. Malaysia versus Hawaii. The choice is yours, but at least now it's an informed choice. Safe travels wherever you end up.